Hello everyone. Let's see the pros and cons of each bro, okay, and see how they work in the battlefield. First of all, I'm gonna talk a lot about parries and phase, and also I recommend you check on the description a video about it. A video made from Asetoni FFXV, okay? He did a very good video about it. So let's go. Let's start with Gladio. So okay, so Gladiolus uses his shield to block, right? Of course. So all the attacks Noct can phase and parry, Gladiolus can block with no problem, okay? But all the attacks Noct can't phase, Gladiolus will block, his defense will be break, and he will receive part of the damage, okay? So let's check it. Okay, this attack Noct can't phase, so Gladiolus will lose his defense and he will receive part of the damage. See? Now let's see what the enemy is going to do. So this is just a normal attack that Noct can face, so Gladiolus will just block it. Okay. See, this is a parry move, so Gladiolus will just block it with no problem. Right? You can also block in a perfect way any attack Gladiolus can normally block, okay? So you will get a boost of damage. You can't do that with attacks Gladiolus can't block. Let me see if I can do it right. Like that, okay? So let's see Ignis. Ignis works the same way as Noct. Everything Noct can phase, Ignis can phase. Everything Noct can parry, Ignis can phase too. And everything Noct can't phase, Ignis will also receive damage. Okay. Like that, I can phase everything Noct can phase too. Like that. And this is not phase, okay, it's just auto dodge, okay, but I'm calling it phase so it can be easier to understand. That's the only defensive part of Ignis. Of course, all the attacks Noct can phase, you have to actually manually dodge. You can press the dodge button at the correct time so you can get back your life. The life you lost, okay? You can regen the health you lost. And with Ignis you can do a counter with the pole arm, which is unique to Ignis. Let's see if I can do it. Like that, okay? Now with Prompto can't auto dodge anything, can't block. So everything you have to do is just manually dodge, which is why Prompto is harder to play. You can also dodge while shooting. It's harder, but you can do it. So I recommend you just playing Prompto from far away, okay? Like throwing these things and all. Okay. The attack bar from Gladiolus, you have to deal physical attacks, okay? That's the only way to make it grow. The attack bar from Ignis and Prompto are the same as Noct. It grows over time, okay? So for example, if I use Overclock, and let's go to Prompto, and use, for example, Star Shell, so their attack bar will still be growing even though you're not using them. It works just like Noct. See how Ignis bar has grown. So let's use overclock again. And let's go to Noctis and use, for example, Sage Fire. Now let's go back to Prompto and use Trigger Happy. Okay. Now let's see how is Ignis. His bar is already growing and I can do one more technique here. Now let's go back to Nox. His bar has grown too. See? So their bar grows even though you're not using them. You have to go to Ascension tree here and check this. These first two attacks, they only work for Noctis, okay? Add to the attack bar when Nox lands attack. Add to the attack bar when Nox suffer damage, okay? So these only work if you're using Nox, okay? But if you upgrade the last one, it accelerates the attack bar replenish rate, which means the technique bar from Nox, Ignis, and Prompto will grow faster over time, while the Gladiolus tech bar will grow faster when it lands physical attacks, okay? So be careful and read properly this, okay? Gladiolus and Ignis have a rage bar which increases the damage. So for Gladiolus, when you're just walking around, the attack bar goes down. When you attack, it goes down too, okay? To prevent it going down, you can use the shield, okay? So it will prevent from going down. For this rage bar to grow, you just have to block attacks. Okay, let's block some attacks here. Like that. Okay? For Ignis, this attack bar grows, this damage bar, grows when you land physical attacks. Just like Total Clarity too. Total Clarity grows when you do physical attacks and when you hold the button from Total Clarity, okay? The difference between the rage bar from Ignis and Gladio is that if you change characters and stop using Ignis, his rage bar will start all over again, okay? It will reset, while Gladiolus rage bar is still the same. See? So you can, for example, boost his damage with his rage bar, swap to another bro, and come back to Gladio, and his rage bar will be there too, okay? So Nox is always the best choice for any fight because, come on, I'm choosing the wrong one. Because Nox, not only he can phase like Ignis, but he can also parry some special attacks which deal extra damage. Nox can also warp out. Okay. This warp is 100% safe when you use it. It's just unsafe at the end of this animation right here, which you can get hit. But if you want to evade attacks Nox can't phase, it's easier to just warp out. But the problem is that you lose MP for that. And be careful because some weapons like, where is it? Like daggers, okay? They are very fast, like this, so you can get hit easier, okay, when you use these types of fast warp strikes. So be careful with that. Nox also has arming, right, which is extremely powerful, and Nox also has magic, which is also super powerful. So Noct is always the strongest character, but the bros, they help you a lot with their own techniques. You can just swap to Prompt or Ignis to do the techniques. For example, you can use their Rage bar to increase damage. You can use Prompt from far away in a safe distance, okay? So they really help Noct a lot. Okay. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching and bye bye.